All right, everybody. So you know that I love numbers, and that's why you're in this program to get projects, to get people, build a team, and ultimately drive profit. So this is kind of a revenue size that I kind of call like a checkpoint in the business. So you see also in the training, I did a short video on what the budget looks like at 250,000. This is kind of that next level up. You're now like off the truck at 500,000. You now have someone in the office and you're kind of in this sweet spot where you can kind of like pick and choose your day. You're still not like fully systematized typically at this level, but you now have a bit of a team growing because you've got your technicians, you've got someone in the office, and you can now kind of choose, do we bring on a sales rep? Do I need a production manager? What's my skill set as a business owner? And how do I kind of want to grow this thing? So you're typically around like a $40,000-$50,000 monthly run rate, maybe even higher for those of you with really seasonal businesses. Say you run 7 or 8 months of the year, could even be like a bigger month than 50,000. So I'm just going to do a short training here, walk you through the budget, and you can kind of study it a bit more in depth. And of course, ask me or your support coach in the program further questions as they're nuanced to your business. But we've now worked with a whole bunch of different washing businesses, so we're pretty dialed on this budget. And so you can kind of see the dollar amount here and then the percentages in the corresponding column. So I just want to make a few comments on this just to guide you throughout your journey. Okay, so we're going to be doing $500,000, like I said. Great checkpoint, 50K month run rate, very healthy amount of profit you'll see in just a couple minutes here. So the first number to lock in on is your technician labor. So I've got it at about 30% here. This is going to be hands down the biggest cost in your service business, is the people out doing the work. So if you're doing more window gutter cleaning, pressure washing, you could be pushing like 35%, sometimes 40% even, definitely not any more than that. If you're pretty much just doing soft washing, we could actually move that 30% down to like 20, maybe 25%. So it kind of just depends on your services that you're doing, but I've left it a little higher than I want at 30%. We're working on in my business to actually get that down to around 25% as we do more soft washing and a little less window and gutter cleaning. So again, just kind of find yourself on this spectrum, but kind of 30% is a good kind of general ballpark. And I tried to make these numbers too, not like too pie in the sky, oh, you can totally do this, or we've got this one member that has a really low labor rate. Like, these are averages, right? So you're going to find yourself on kind of this spectrum, but I want to be a little more conservative with these numbers than like, hey, we have this one special client who is like crazy good at managing their, profit margins. Again, we want to keep an average. Okay. Materials, soaps, typically around a 1% to 2% range. That's pretty good. So we've got 8,000 allocated to that. And then this is a unique point to make. Okay. This hybrid role is allowing you to identify a key staff member and start to build into them, pull them off site, and actually use them on like Thursdays or Fridays or both. Get them doing some production management duties, right? I love the hybrid role in my business. That's how I've grown my managers, is we take them off site for a Thursday, Friday, get them doing the bleach deliveries, get them doing some material ordering, get them going to deal with customers, get them doing small touch-ups, get them doing crew checks, get them doing start on vehicle maintenance logs, right? There's things that you can start to hybrid your people with. We've also taken technicians and taught them in-person sales, right? Our office team will be going crazy with leads, and they'll schedule a technician of ours who wants to learn sales, and they can go out and do 8 in-person estimates, say on a Friday on the hour, 8, 9, 10, 11, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to allocate $10,000 of your budget just to that hybrid role, so we can start to take a little bit of work off your shoulders. Okay. So you can see the total gross profit for this business so far, 66%. Very, very good, healthy place to be for a cleaning business. Okay. Now we'll get into what's now the overhead. Okay. So these are like the set expenses that are in your business that are not attributed to the job site. Okay. So vehicle fuel going up in every state, every country of the world. Okay. We got $10,000 at the time of this recording. That's accurate. This may have to get scooted up as time goes on. I certainly don't think it's coming down. Okay. But usually 2% of the overall revenue will go to fuel. Insurance, depending on your setup, we like fleet insurance. All our vehicles are insured in fleet. We get a discount for having a whole bunch of vehicles under the company policy. So about 1% is good there. Some vehicle maintenance, right? We like pre-owned vehicles. I usually allocate about $2,000 per year per vehicle. For this size setup, 500 grand, you should be running about 2 trucks at about $25,000 per month, give or take. And so about 2 grand to each vehicle, 4 grand. Could be low if you get nothing in 1 year, but we know it could be a transmission or new tires or brakes or whatever the following year. So again, just kind of an average is good there. And then a vehicle purchaser payments, right? We buy our vans anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. If you're buying trucks, they're a little bit more. If you're paying monthly, you could probably be a little bit less. And so work that out for your business, but around a 2% marker is kind of what we like. So just in vehicle alone, you can add this up and see we're already 6% of our revenue, $60,000 is boom, allocated for just in literally the vehicle. Sorry, my math is off there. 6% is not going to be 60,000. It's going to be a lot less than that. Why don't I actually do this for you right now while I got my calculator? 500 grand at 6%. 30 grand. That's what we're doing. Okay. 30 grand to the vehicle. Okay. Now we move into the business expenses. Okay. So this is exciting because you can now have an office administrator who can almost be full-time. Okay. So in my breakdown, I've allocated 30 hours per week. You can kind of cheat this a little bit and have them work like a 6-hour day, usually from like 9 to 3, kind of that meaty part of the day. And you, the business owner, can kind of pick up around those hours or just have calls, hit voicemail, and you can have a recording that's like, hey, we'll call you back absolute first thing in the morning. If you're extremely busy, maybe you're a little bit higher than 500,000, you can actually have an office admin flex up to 40 hours a week and do like a full 8 to 4:30, just kind of depending on your demand. Just note here that 7% is kind of that sweet spot there for your office administrator. You could go as low as 5, but a big part here is you want to find an office administrator who can drive revenue to the business. Okay. So there's more training on this in my program. What does an office administrator actually do? They should be taking all your inbound calls. They should be cross-selling your services on a good call script. We got all training on that, right? They should be reaching out to your past customers via outbound calls. They should be making happy calls when the jobs are done for the week. They should be calling all of those clients, making sure they're happy. They should be calling the quotes that are in a waiting response, right? You quoted 100 jobs. You only heard back from 50. There's 50 more we got to go call, reach out to. They should be blowing out your email inbox. They should be responding to Google reviews, right? There's just thing after thing after thing that I would beg you to not be on the truck and not be in the office. That's kind of this sweet spot of this $500,000 revenue mark. You can really see now you've got the growing semblance of a growing company here. So 7% there. Now we're going to pay you as well. You're very valuable to the business. Regardless of how many hours you're putting in, it's going to be pretty much a full-time gig. You've got now a small team. We're going to pay you 10%. $50,000, right? I want you making $4,000 a month, $1,000 every week. Keep the family happy. If you got a little fancier taste, you may need to flex that up. I would be cautious paying yourself more than 10% of your overall business revenue because there's not going to be a lot left in the business bank account, right? When I was growing my business, I got by on even less than 10% because I had another business going that could feed my income so I could keep the profit in the cleaning business growing very quickly. Again, depends on your growth mindset. Do you want to grow 20% a year? Do you want to grow 100 or 200 or 300% per year? Everybody's got different goals. But again, this is a good average. Usually pay yourself around 10%. And this is all pre-tax, by the way. So we're going to have to pay corporate taxes through your company, and you're going to have to pay personal tax as well on this. So it's important to note taxes are a very real thing when you get to this level of income and start growing, okay? Technology stack, $7,000. That's pretty normal when you add up your CRM, your Slack, your Nice Job, your this, your that, your phone lines, the other thing, the things just add up. Okay, so technology is very important. Now I'm going to assume at this level, you're going to have a shop and some storage, right? For us, we store all our Christmas lights. We store all of our bleach in storage location, and we also pay rent at our office. So, I've also scaled up a business to this level without even having an office, right? My office was at Starbucks. So you don't need to necessarily have an office at this level. But again, keeping it for the average, I would like you to personally have one or be thinking seriously about having one. $2,000 a month could be quite low in some areas, could be bang on in some areas, and could be even a little bit high in some areas. Some of the members we're working with in the program, kind of all over the place, but some of you have got killer deals on rents and leases that you've locked in for the long term, a whole lot less than $2,000 a month. So if you've done that, that's really good. Professional fees, this could be like you hire an attorney to ask some questions to, maybe a couple times per year. Maybe for us, we hired an employment lawyer to drop some really good position agreements. So $3,000 to that. You might not even use that, but I want to build that into your budget. Credit fund, this is an interesting one to note. About 0.5%, right? It used to be around 1% for us. As we've got our quality better, scaled the business, that's actually dropped. So $2,500 is going to go to you, frying a Mrs. Smith's plant in the front of her yard, or, wrecking, getting SH on something. Something will happen inevitably. You're going to need to pay out of pocket, give a customer a credit. Maybe a customer doesn't pay, there's bad debt, they're not happy. This is all small incidentals that are not large that you'd put on an insurance claim. Okay, so important to note there. Speaking of insurance, $4,000 per year, give or take, that's where we kind of want to be. I would always recommend you pay a little bit more money for really good insurance, and that you personally bubble wrap your company and also protect you, the owner, from any sort of insurance claims or lawsuits happening. So important that we get really good business insurance. Don't cheap out, right? If you have two options, one is 1 million liability, one's 5 million. I'm probably going to vote to take the 5 million. We have 5 million at my business. Personally, I think as inflation continues to come through our economy, 5 million will become more of a norm, and there'll be even higher policies available as things become more expensive. Accounting, bookkeeping, 4,000. If you can get someone 300 to 500 a month, you're looking pretty good on that front. These are kind of just smaller incidentals, right? I don't have a lot of comments on these. A couple grand to office supplies. We have a book club at our business. So having some bookshelves, nice storage shelves in the office for uniforms, meals and entertainment. I just personally like, you meet a client, you meet an employee, interview, Starbucks, Tim Hortons, we like here in Canada, whatever it is. I always try to pick up the tab. I just personally like that. So that's what I would suggest, being generous. Putting a couple grand into that is important. Ladders equipment could be low, could be high, but $12,000 to replace hoses, get some new ladders, get a water-fed pole set up. You could blow the bank on that if you have nothing. But, I'm going to assume you've been in business a couple years. If you're hitting this revenue level, you should have some things already in your equipment arsenal that you can just kind of add to and kind of top grade. Now we're going to need to do some repairs on some pressure washers. That could be a couple grand, winterize them, right? Get them serviced. Maybe one needs a new pump. We could easily spend that money there. Shop supplies is just general, right? Rags, huck towels, that kind of thing. New rubbers for your squeegees and scrubbers. Pretty normal stuff there. Payment processing, okay, big one here. I highly recommend taking payments on credit card, getting a deposit up front. That's how we roll at my business. That's what I teach. Get the cash flow going. Don't take checks. Don't take cash. Try get everyone paying on a credit card for residential anyways, and with a deposit. Phone and tablets, right? You should have a phone system. We like a VoIP phone system. Buy a couple Grand Stream phones on Amazon, plug them into the wall. Those are great for running a call center for your business. And then learning and education, right? 12 grand, that's a lot. Well, you've joined this coaching program, you've invested in yourself. I personally believe that's like a good baseline to be at. For investing in yourself, and you should be for sure getting that value and then some through a program like this or whatever else you choose to join, masterminds, reading, getting books. Like, just, this is not an expense in the line item. This is an investment into your future growth and potential. Last things to note here, okay? Marketing, about 5% is what we like to spend to scale the business. Now, people say, Dave, you're crazy. I need to spend 10, 15, 20%, or my competitors are doing that. Maybe they are. I personally teach and preach a retention type of model in the cleaning business. We reach out to our clients via phone, via email, via postcard, 3 very cost-effective strategies that allow us to not break the bank on Google PPC, Facebook ads, SEO, all the other million things that your competitors are spending tons of money on. So I personally believe build an amazing brand, do an excellent level of service, and get people on repeat schedules, follow up with them, touch base with them, be human with them. That's the best way to scale the business. So I practice what I preach. Can you go higher than 5%? You could, 6, 7, much higher than that. I just personally think you're probably missing the boat on this. My mentor, Howard Partridge, he spends next to nothing on marketing, multi-million-dollar company, been in business many years, yes, but you've got to start from day one, building this into your culture, reviews, referrals, retention. We'll start with R, right? Really important you get these on repeats, okay? But here's a rough breakdown. We're going to need some money for technician uniforms. I'm big on door knocking, even at this level, whether you do it or not. It works. If you want to pivot that to flyer delivery, so be it. But if you threw $5,000 at a door knocking program, you got out there with a helper, some print materials, you could easily spin that into a couple $100,000 of booked work right at the door. Website maintenance, SEO, right? There's a lot of you paying for your website, $250 a month. I'll take that deal every day for a really well optimized, well converting website. That is an investment into your brand. Print materials going on Vistaprint, right? Door hangers, business cards, A-frame signs we need printed with a QR code. Again, an investment. Don't not spend money in that, because that's investing in your brand. Signs, I like the bandit signs. You could have a little leave behind sign. We leave behind on the lawn, similar to a lot of pest control companies. They're like $1.50 per sign. Leave it in, the customer recycles it when the job's done. We do a lot more training on this marketing too, so I know I'm going a little bit quick, but I just want to give you the high level here of what the budget actually looks like. And then online, right? Facebook, Google, I personally believe you turn on paid ads in your busy season, right? Now we're coming into April, May, June, perfect time to be marketing online, getting Google guaranteed, spending some money there. Some of you will want to spend more than that. Some of you want to spend less. Totally up to you, but in and around $5,000, I think will be a good enough one just to get your feet wet. And lastly, vehicle wraps, those are going up as well. We have wrapped a whole bunch of times with the same outfit, so we get a pretty good deal, but you could be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in your area. I'd recommend getting a full wrap, design it properly as if you're going to have 5 or 10 trucks on the road, so you don't have to go back and tweak the thing again. Okay. So high level, you look at this, we're hitting $500,000. Not only are you paying yourself $4,000 a month, you're also having every single cost of the business accounted for. Okay. I don't believe in you hiding expenses or overinflating your profit margin. A lot of people on Facebook groups, I'm making 50% profit. No, you're not. You're not accounting for all these line items. Like literally, we even accounted for your crew screwing up this year, $2,500 worth of stuff. You're going to get that text message. You're going to have to go to Home Depot, repair whatever got broken. Cool. We already planned for that. When bad things happen in my business, cool. We already planned for that. Okay. So you hope for the best. You plan for the worst. We end up here. Look at this, $101,500 of net profit, 20% profit margin. It is completely possible. That's what we do at my business. It runs without me, and there's a 20% net profit. Now, as mentioned, you're going to need to pay taxes out of that, right? For us here in Canada, we pay 11.5%, I believe, on the first $500,000 of corporate earnings. So that's not all directly in your pocket. However, the beautiful thing of having a business, you can choose your growth trajectory and you can start to get some write-offs for your business. So talk to your accountant. They can advise and say, hey, we might want to look at doing an investment this year. Tom, if you're planning to move from 500 to 750 next year, maybe let's get that vehicle going this year before costs go up. Maybe drop this net profit down by 15 grand. We're going to be a little bit in a better tax position. So that's a question for your accountant, but just want to make you aware that everything has a cost in business, and you want to be targeting this 20% profit margin. I could easily scooch that up, right? If we wanted to get your business ready to sell in a year or two, what I would do, you could snip this hybrid role. There's 10 grand there. You could even jump on site as an owner, right? This is 150 grand for you to literally not have to work on site. You can go do check-ins, but we could snip that. You, the owner, you could drop your office team down and go even lower. Like, we could easily move this up to 30% with 2 or 3 strategic moves. However, I want to build this for the future, that you don't stop at 500 grand. We move you to $750 million and beyond. So generally having that entrepreneurial spirit, you're never done growing, and you love the game and you want to keep advancing. So that's how I built this budget, as if I was in your shoes doing $500,000 and I'm wondering, where does all the money go? And I'm so thankful I could get this training for you, because this is something I didn't have. I had to figure all this stuff out, what percentages work. I made a lot of mistakes, and this is the best budget that I have at this level, how I would allocate every dollar in the business. And I hope that you found it helpful. So feel free to reach out to either me or your support coach for further help on this. As we continue to grow the program, we'll have more training around the financial resources, but just wanted to get you a baseline here on what a $500,000 business looks like. So I hope it was valuable, and look forward to chatting very soon.